overall, it is by far the best yoke that you can probably get on the market today. Hey everybody, Kaiden here, and today I have the Honeycomb Aeronautical Alpha Flight Controls, and that includes the yoke and switch panel. Now I'm really excited to open this up and see how it looks like and feels. So let's go ahead and slide the box out. So on this box here, we have a very nice picture of the yoke, and on the back here, we have a bunch of specifications and features of the yoke and switch panel. And this is also Windows 10 and Mac compatible. So let's slide this out of the case here, and ooh, fits very snug with this. It's a little bit hard to, ooh, there it goes. There's the top part. All right, and I've actually watched pretty much all the videos and reviews on the Honeycomb yoke, and so I'm really excited to open this up because I've seen it online for so long, and I finally have my hands on one. I'm really happy that I have one. The yoke here, and so it comes out. Packaging is really nice on this. It's very straightforward. Ooh. All right, so we got a nice styrofoam here. Let's see if I can show you that, protecting the yoke. So this is going to be kind of hard to tilt it forward without breaking anything coming out loose. So I'm just going to take it out as we go. So here we have this yoke Ethernet cable. This connects from the yoke to the like the box that it goes in. This is so you can have a full steel shaft in the yoke. And then here we have a USB Type-C to USB connection to plug into your PC. And then we have here a bunch of booklets. Let's take a look. Now I think Aerosoft, it's like a German company. They helped Honeycomb make their line of products. So I think this is a Aerosoft pamphlet here. And this is kind of hard to open. It's a piece of tape. There we go. All right, yep. We also get in here little grip pads to put on, I'm guessing, the base of the yoke. And then we also have here, yep, World of Flight Simulation. And then we also have partnered offers. So yep, there's like, they have a lot of partners with like X-Plane and Microsoft Flight Simulator and Prepared 3D. Very nice. These, I think this is the official friends of Honeycomb. And then we also have here the manual and guide on how to set up the yoke. Very nice. Okay, and here is the base. This is what the Honeycomb yoke goes on. So there's little clamps that come in here, and it's supposed to attach onto your desk. Or there's also a 3M microsection pad, which is very strong, I've heard from online, and it should only be used if you're going to mount it permanently. And it's so strong, in fact, it can put up to 40 pounds of suction. And then they even have levering clamps right here to lever this off of the desk. All right, and now time to take off more styrofoam. Woo. There's a lot of styrofoam here, so you can really tell that they really think about the safety on how the yoke comes. And here's the yoke itself. All right, whoa, this thing's really heavy. It's really weighty. And here is the yoke. Whoa, look at that. Looks very nice. There's still some things in the box here, so I'm just going to put the yoke down for 1 second. And I'm just going to grab these out and then put the box on the floor. And we just have the clamps in here, and I'm pretty sure there's nothing else here. So we can put the box down. And here are the clamps. These are very weighty clamps. These go on the base for the yoke. And let's bring the main attraction here. The yoke and switch panel itself. It's in a nice plastic. Let's take this off. I've seen this online so many times, and it's just really amazing to me that it's right here on this desk where I've made many videos. So I'm really excited to take a look at the yoke. It's very heavy. Let's see if I can get this off without damaging. Sorry for the awkward position here. Just make sure it comes out nice. Wow, this thing really is very premium quality. We have more plastic here. Take off. Woo! And here's the yoke and the switch panel. It looks very, very nice. And I can't wait to set this up with X-Plane 11 and show you how it performs. Alright everybody, so here's the setup. Now, I only have the yoke here. This is one piece I'm adding to my home flight sim. And if you guys remember, I did a review on the Extreme 3D Pro. Now, even though I do have finally have a yoke now, don't worry, Mr. Extreme 3D Pro is not going anywhere. I'm using him for a throttle and rudder on the ground and sky, since I only have the yoke set up until I further get rudder pedals and then a throttle quadrant. And so basically, this is not going anywhere, and even if I do get my full flight sim set up, I'm still going to use this as a wheel tiller on the 737 that still steers the aircraft on the ground. And I also do many other things like acrobatic and combat flight simulators, so I'm still going to use Mr. Extreme 3D Pro here. It's just I'm using him right now just for throttle and yaw access. And one cool thing about the Honeycomb yoke is that this back area with the switch, with all the switches and stuff, it's a nice honeycomb texture. And the cool thing is there's a LED setting, so you can have it dim, a little bit brighter. And I believe there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5. This is the brightest. It is really nice. And one thing I'd like to point out before I start flying is that this is not any part of Honeycomb's fault. It's just the way my desk is formed is that it has kind of like a ledge here, so you can rest your wrist on it while gaming. The only thing with this though is that, as you can see, it's not stable, and I can simply just put like paper towels and stuff in here to make sure it's better, at least for the time being. But no fault on Honeycomb, it's just the way my desk is. So just a big caution, if you have a desk like this, be prepared to put something underneath here to wedge it in. So let's go ahead and get into some flying. Alright everybody, so here is the yoke. It's very, very nice, and yet again, not due to Honeycomb, just this little shake here. So if you see that, that's just because of how my desk is. I'm gonna have to put some more wedges in here when I start flying a lot more with this. And so basically, starting off the bat with this, you'll notice how very nice it feels. Has sort of a rubberish matte feel. It's like something I've never felt before. It feels really nice. It's kind of grippy. It's not like plastic. It kind of sounds like plastic when you tap on it, but it's kind of like a rubberized finish. It's very glossy up here. So you have your your horizontal stabilizer trim. This is your rudder trim right here. You can have different buttons here. These are all programmable. You can all do this within X-Plane. And on the back here, there's this little button you might hear. And would be your push to talk button for you VATSIM players. Or you can just assign it to whatever you want. And the cool thing is here in the Cessna 172, we have the master batteries and avionics bus. And then we also have beacon, land, taxi, nav, and strobe. As we can see from here, this also has beacon, land, taxi, nav, and strobe. And the master batteries and the avionics buses. And so pretty much this is designed for the Cessna. And also the cool thing is you have a magneto starter switch right here, which is really nice. And also another thing that's very something that should hit you right away is that it's one-to-one with the sim, which is nice. It has full 90 degrees of motion, and it matches the sim perfectly with the yoke. And the travel is very nice too. It's very smooth. There's no center detent. You can feel there's something there, but it's not like a kajunk. It's not like a button per se. It's just smooth all the way through. It's very nice and full 90 degrees. So let's go ahead and start this bad boy up. I'm just going to get rid of the yoke here so you can see. So I'll put on our master battery and avionics buses. And then I think we're going to want taxi, and we'll put on strobe now and nav. And we'll use the magneto star switch here, clear prop. And wow, that was really nice. The star switch here is really, really nice. And oh, that's just a little thing up here. And one thing that they missed, a really big missed opportunity, is to have it spring loaded, because when you go into start, you're supposed to let go and it'll spring back to both. also keep sounding like a metal ticking sound, which is not good for the engine. And so pretty much you have to put it back to both, but when you put it to start in the real plane, it goes back to both. But that's just a missed opportunity. Don't really see it as a con. It's very hard to try to pick out cons here because this thing's really nice. And we also have a nice 8-way hat switch. The Logitech Extreme 3D Pro does have one too, but it's a little bit less accurate. And so this one with the Honeycomb yoke feels better and is very nice. And so I think we can go ahead and take off now. So I think that's parking brake disengage. So let's go ahead, start to give it some power. And oh crap, I forgot some flaps. Put the flaps down 20 degrees. So as you can see here, I'm using the rudder on the Extreme 3D Pro for steering on the ground. We're approaching. And I think we can rotate now. So as you can see, it's very responsive to the littlest turn, which is really nice because that's really what you want in the aircraft, just because the slightest movement can affect the aircraft while flying, which is really nice that they have this. So we can put some flaps up, and I'll just do some little bit of traffic pattern here to show you a little bit. It's very nice when using just one hand on it. Also both of the hands, it's very nice. And the tension on the pitch axis is very nice too. It's very heavy. Although one thing I will say though is that the roll axis is a little bit on the looser side compared to the pitch axis right here. And it's very nice, very responsive. So this is great for both commercial and general aviation. It's very nice. Alright, so that was pretty much moving around with the Cessna. It's very nice, very fun to fly around with the Yoke since it's a lot more hands-on than some of the other aircraft like the commercial, which I normally fly. And I actually, before this, I got set up here the autopilot disengage and auto throttle arm. So I already have it set up for airliners, but pretty much it's already out of the box. The sim recognizes the Honeycomb yoke, and then it'll also show like the what do you call it, a picture of the yoke. And one thing that I really like that I think Austin, he added in, and if you don't know him, he's the CEO of X-Plane, but basically to tune the aircraft with the trim, you need to hit both at the same time to prevent trim runaway. So that basically means it's basically a safety precaution, so that if you incidentally hit one, your plane won't go immediately towards the ground. So Austin Meyer, the CEO of X-Plane, he added in code for the Honeycomb yoke so that you have to hold down both of the trim switches here, which basically shows which level the aircraft is going to be at, the angle of attack. So the Cessna 172, very nice, very good to fly with, and we'll finally do a 737 landing with this. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that started up. Alright guys, so here we are in the 737, and I chose a 3 nautical mile approach, so we're already pretty low.
Approaching 3-4 right.
And one thing I am noticing here, I'm going to be honest with you, is that when I do it with a one hand,
Flaps.
and oh crap, you're down. Oh no, I chose 3 nautical mile. But anyways, one thing I'm noticing here, which
Unstable.
Basically what I do is most pilots like to have one hand on the yoke and another on the throttle quadrants. Now that's what I would do. But since I haven't put any wedging in here, if I do it one-handed, it's pretty much just, the yoke is just taking all the damage, where it wouldn't be just the box. I'll try to further explain. Oh my gosh, I was totally not paying attention there. But But anyways, yeah, you definitely do feel like you're flying a heavy jet like this, because it's very, very heavy control. And my mistake for that landing, I was not paying attention whatsoever, trying to focus on trying not to use just one hand on it, just because. We're just slowing down here. And we're almost coming to a stop, almost there. I forgot to set speed brakes, so I think that's one of the problems. And then there we have it. So basically, that was kind of a little bit rushed, but it's very nice. As you can see, it definitely mimics the heavy jets, which I really like, because I fly sometimes 747, 737. So it's really nice. I really like it. It's very responsive. Alright everybody, so this was my review on the Honeycomb Yoke. Overall, it is by far the best yoke that you can probably get on the market today without going over like $1,000, $2,000 for commercial grade yokes. This has a very nice mounting solution. You can either have the micro section or having the clamps here. It was my fault for the desk here. As you can see, it's a little bit moving like that, and also I noticed when using it one hand, it was not very nice, because I can feel a little bit of, I hate to say this, like a little bit of a detent with using it one-handed on one side, just because I'm kind of moving the weight a little bit on the left and right. As you can see here, there's a little bit of wiggle, but that was most partly due to me because of there's no wedging system here in my desk. So yeah, just a big heads up for somebody who has a desk like mine, where it goes straight like this and then down. I do not recommend trying to use it before you put any wedging in there, just to make sure there's no damage to the yoke. But this thing is amazing, and I love it a lot. It's very good, and I think some of the other yokes on the same market price, such as the Logitech yoke, I think Logitech bought Sightech, and basically the yoke's $170, and yes, it does come with the throttle quadrant, but also if you add on the switch panel, which yes, it does come with a gear, but I believe Honeycomb on their Bravo throttle quadrants, they have the gear lever on that. But basically, all of these switches here, it gets attached on top of the yoke for I think the Sightech products, and that costs like $150. So if you were to buy the Sightech slash Logitech yoke and also buy their switch panel, you'd be paying more money, so like a $310, $320 for a less quality yoke and a less quality switches. Well, this is all integrated into it. It's a way better system. Overall, it feels really nice. And one thing that I really like about this too is that for the price point, they give you full 90 degrees on each side for the yoke movement, which is very beneficial, because with the Sightech yoke, I believe you can only move 45 degrees of angle like this. And the reason why it's important to have 90 degrees of angle, and even though you probably won't ever get to 90 degrees on the yoke, is because if you're simulating 45 degrees on your yoke, on the sim, that means you're doing 90 degrees. And if you do 5 degrees on the sim, or 5 degrees on the yoke like this, you're really doing 10 degrees on the yoke on the sim. Which, the reason why that's really important is because in flights, if you're mid-flight, the tiniest movements can reflect how much your plane flies. So it definitely does have a big impact. And also the switches and the looks and everything on this is nice. And one thing that I found really cool too was that some of the people who worked on the Sightech slash Logitech yoke actually moved to Honeycomb. And I like how they have these mounting ports, so you can add different Sightech slash Logitech pieces where you screw it in and it attaches on top. So it's really nice. It's compatible with some of the Sightech and Logitech line of flight systems. So I hope you guys enjoyed my video. Hope you guys give me a like and subscribe. And thank you all for watching, guys. Bye!